Hey guys, this is going to be another project that's going to lead you into working with values with paint. So after doing your painting scale, you are going to choose a color that you are using from light to dark to make what I call an impossible shape, or kind of an optical illusion. I'm going to hold up several examples right now. I'm actually going to keep these, and I'm going to put hundreds of these together up in the library, up by the skylight. So you are not only practicing your values, but you're also, without knowing it, participating in a collaborative project that's going to go inside the school. So I'm going to put these together like quilt blocks. They're all going to be different color schemes, but the values are going to be the same to make it the same impossible shape. So here is a blue-green one, a yellow-orange one, yellow-green, plain green, violet, a darker violet, lighter values with violet, kind of a red. So you can go anywhere on the color scale that you want, but you need to be using that strip of paper that you use to remind you how to go from light to dark. It is really apparent with these when someone has poor craft, and not to be a jerk, but if yours looks really, really rough from a long way away, I don't want to disrupt the entire piece that we're putting together in the library. So when I look at like this piece next to this piece, it is very clear who put the correct values where and who really tried to get a big range of color mixing and who was using stronger craft. So I don't say that to scare you. And if yours comes out looking a little rough, it's not a big deal. I am not going to fail you or knock your grade down. But in the interest of the larger group project, do everything you can to keep the craft nice on this. You're going to find in your packet the pattern that we're all using, and you need to pull that out and cover the back of it with graphite because we're going to transfer it onto the square of mat board that you received in your kit, or that you might be keeping in your locker. So to do that, I am going to take a drawing pencil or a regular pencil, and I'm really going to press down, and I'm going to put my camera down here so you guys can see. I'm really going to press down and get a solid graphite. I'm going to switch pencils because that one's not sharpened anymore. And you want to take your time doing this because we're going to flip this over. We are going to align this with your mat board, and we are going to trace all of the lines onto the mat board. That's actually going to end this tutorial because I will do the painting in a separate tutorial. And actually for in-class learners, I may do that in class because there's some taping that I don't want to get messed up. But for virtual learners, basically you'll tape off all of your lines as you paint them in sections, and you have to let them dry. So we will be working on this project, I would say, at least 6 to 7 class periods. Class periods have been shortened this year, but I would say you probably need at least 2.5 to 3, maybe 3.5 good painting hours, good solid painting hours to get this completed. So if you're working on this at home in one sitting and you get it done in 30 minutes, that is probably not going to indicate the best craft. So basically all we're doing right now is putting graphite on the back of this so that when we flip it on and align that with our square as close as we can, I am going to trace the lines by pressing down with my pencil across all these triangles. And I'm actually going to get a ruler out right now so that I can keep these lines really nice and straight. You could tape this down into place if you don't want this to move. You could cut it out if you know that you want it to line up exactly with your board. You could cut it out if you need to. Use whatever tool that you have available to make this nice and neat. If you miss a line while you're transferring, you can always come back and add the line in after you've gotten it drawn in by eye. On this design, if you just miss a line or two, it's not so hard to put them in later. But you want to get the main form transferred over on to your square. I am almost done with that. Then I'm going to show it to you. I'm going to end this video and we will talk about painting another time. Again, just keep everything lined up, everything straight. Utilize really nice craft. No slop. We don't want that up on the library wall. You'll feel so much better about yours if you look at it and make sense. So I've transferred that. Probably on the screen, you'll have a hard time seeing my lines. If I get really close, you can see them right there. If you need to then darken them at this point, feel free to darken them.